Καλησπέρα και ευχαριστώ. Είναι ιδιαίτερη χαρά για μένα να βρίσκομαι εδώ με φίλους, όχι μόνο στο κοινό, αλλά και στο πάνελ και άλλα μέλη και της Δωροθέα Ελλάς, οπότε είμαι ιδιαίτερα περήφανη σήμερα. There we are. Okay. Εγώ σήμερα θα το κάνω λίγο διαφορετικά. Θα ξεκινήσω στα αγγλικά και θα τελειώσω στα ελληνικά. Για αυτούς που με ξέρετε, σαν Έλληνα Αμερικανίδα, πάω λίγο προς πίσω. Okay. The unique world of P&I and its bond with Greece. So what is a P&I club and why is it called a club? Well, as many of you may know, it's a third-party liability insurance provider in the maritime industry for ocean-going vessels. Protection and indemnity is the term that's used, and that's what the acronym stands for. And it's meant to mean the payment of claims, but also the protection of the ship owner in defending against those claims. It's a mutual not-for-profit insurance association, which means basically that the premium is set at levels that are forecasted to pay the potential claims. The insureds, in other words, are the members of the association, and they're also the insurers. And it's historically based on a club structure because it started out as a few ship owners who got together, realizing that they couldn't insure certain increasing liabilities associated with their trade in the regular commercial market and decided to self-insure. So what makes up P&I clubs so unique? Well, like I just said, the ship owners themselves started it, so the members have decided what is covered. The board of directors, which actually make the final decisions on everything the clubs do, are made up mainly from the membership. The managers are not the insurers. The managers are contracted or employed by the clubs. And there's an extensive range of third-party liability cover, which go from simple things of crew illnesses and injuries, to deaths, to damage to cargo, to oil pollution, to special compensation for salvage. The cover is also constantly in review, which means that due to the nature of trade for ships, where every year we could end up facing increased liability both from convention, from national governments, the type of trade is very volatile, so the clubs themselves look at what they need to do each year, and they can change the cover as is needed. What makes the service so unique? Well, there's an extensive range of services. The claims handling is second to none. The clubs have highly qualified staff that range from lawyers to adjusters to claims experts to master mariners with offices all over the world, and they can take that claim from your hands and take the lead and handle the most simplest things to the most complicated casualties. They can give you immediate insight to legal issues that you may face or that the ship owner may face in the trade, and they have an extensive loss prevention and technical service built into the structure of the club. One of the most unique and important aspects, though, is that it provides security for trade. And it provides security in a couple of ways. It provides security not only in the classic way that since you're covered for something, if the ship gets arrested, you post a guarantee and the ship can leave, but a P&I club cover gives you a basic ticket to trade anywhere you like. And beyond that, it gives the rest of the world peace of mind that no matter what happens, you have the financial security behind you to deal with it. So what's the international group of P&I clubs? Well, the international group of P&I clubs is a collective of 13 independent P&I clubs, which provide protection and indemnity for about 90% of the world's tonnage. And it has a mechanism which allows the clubs to provide cover with extremely high limits at a very competitive price, considering what they can cover. So what's so special about the international group, which we call the IG? Well, there are three elements to it. It's the pooling agreement, it's the fact that it creates an international platform, and that it has a high level of sharing of information and resources. Well, let's look at that a little more closely. What's the pooling agreement? The pooling agreement is what defines the risks that can be pooled, at what level, and how the losses will be shared among the clubs. So how does it work? It's a little bit complicated. I've oversimplified it here. But basically, the clubs retain the first $9 million, and then there's two levels of the pool. At 9 million to 45 million, there's a formula which takes into account tonnage, premium, and the claims record of each club, and they contribute on that basis. Then the upper pool is then subdivided into two layers, from 45 to 60 and 60 to 80, where again, there's a certain level where the claiming club will retain a certain percentage, and then the rest is divided among the clubs on a tonnage-weighted basis. Well, what happens after that? What about the larger claims? Well, the larger claims are dealt with through a common market reinsurance contract for excess of 80 million up to a little over 2 billion any one claim. It's said to be the largest single marine reinsurance contract in the global market, and that's because the P&I clubs insure 90% of the tonnage of the world's tonnage. So that gives them the ability to put this contract together. Then what happens after that? Yes, there is an after that. It's what's called overspill. After that level, there is a mechanism which allows claims to go back into the pool for distribution up to overspill limit of each club. That calculation that is built into the agreement, in theory, gives us cover for up to $8 billion. How does the international group serve as a platform? Well, it's a very large base to develop common policy and promote ship owners' interests on a global level, because it brings all of the ship owners together through this vehicle. It's a voice that can speak collectively on important industry issues of matter and of concern to ship owners. And it carries out this function in relation to intergovernmental bodies, in relation to national governments, and as well as with respect to other industry organizations. So what do they share information about? Well, it could be general issues like trends and claims that they're seeing amongst themselves within the clubs. And it could be also current issues that ship owners are dealing with outside, like in trade, like maritime security, like the current trend right now of cybersecurity, like armed guards, piracy, ports of refuge, criminalization of crew. Many organizations actually now consistently seek IG input before making proposals or changes to regimes that would impact on the P&I industry. All right, so what's the special connection with Greece? Λοιπόν, εδώ θα γυρίσω λίγο στα ελληνικά. Out of the 207, από τα 274 άτομα που δουλεύουν, που υπηρετούν στα IG boards, οι Έλληνες τώρα είναι το 14% από αυτό το νούμερο. Αυτό το νούμερο έχει ενδιαφέρον αν παίρνουμε υπόψη μας το ποσοστό που έχουν οι Έλληνες στον παγκόσμιο στόλο. Τα 10 από τα 13 clubs, διαχειριστές δηλαδή των clubs, έχουν κάποιο γραφείο εδώ στην Ελλάδα σήμερα. Και από τα 100 άτομα που δουλεύουν σε αυτά τα γραφεία εδώ στην Ελλάδα, οι Έλληνες είναι τα 3/4. Τι σημαίνει αυτό? Η δομή των P&I clubs, που υποστηρίζει την κάλυψη μιας μεγάλης γκάμας ναυτιλιακών ατυχημάτων, με ποσά που ανέρχονται σε δισεκατομμύρια, ο ρόλος τους στη διάχυση πληροφοριών και διαχείριση πόρων και ο στόχος της κοινής πολιτικής προς όφελος των πλειοκτητών, συνθέτουν τη ξεχωριστή θέση των P&I clubs στην ναυτιλία. Η πορεία των P&I clubs στην Ελλάδα, που σταδιακά έφτασε τα 10 από τα 13 να έχουν γραφεί εδώ και τα 75% από τους εργαζόμενους να είναι Έλληνες, και η εξέλιξη της συμμετοχής των Ελλήνων πλειοκτητών στα IG Clubs Boards αποτελούν μια τρανή απόδειξη για την πολυεπίπεδη εμπιστοσύνη που έχει αυτός ο κλάδος για την ελληνική ναυτιλία. Αναγνωρίζει την ικανότητα του ανθρώπινου δυναμικού, όχι μόνο με την επένδυση στην επόμενη γενιά εδώ, αλλά προφανώς επενδύοντας στο μέλλον του κλάδου εδώ στην Ελλάδα. Τώρα πια οι Έλληνες πλειοκτήτες έχουν λόγο και μέσα του κλάδου του P&I, όχι μόνο σε θέματα διοίκησης και κάλυψης των clubs, αλλά επίσης και στα διεθνή θέματα που αφορούν την αγορά γενικά. Η αυξανόμενη αυτή αντιπροσώπευση και σχέση έχει ως συνέπεια τη σταθερή υποστήριξη των P&I στην ανάδειξη της Ελλάδας ως διεθνούς ναυτιλιακού κέντρου. Μολονότι ο κλάδος των P&I δεν είναι ελληνικός καθ' αυτόν. Είναι πλέον όμως στενά συνδεδεμένος με το ρόλο της Ελλάδας ως Διεθνούς Ναυτιλιακού Κέντρου. Και όσο καλλιεργούμε και όσο φροντίζουμε αυτή τη σχέση, δεν μπορεί παρά να γίνεται όλο και πιο στενή, όλο και πιο ισχυρή και να αποτελεί με τη σειρά της όλο και πιο ισχυρό κομμάτι της ναυτιλίας στην Ελλάδα. Ευχαριστώ.
Ευχαριστούμε πολύ.